guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a bins haul. This is such a fun day at the bins. I found a really cool little stash that I cannot wait to show you guys. Some really cool finds, some really interesting brands, at least one brand that has been on my bucket list. Lots and lots of good stuff. I think I've got about 35 pieces here. So again, we've got a lot to get through. But before we get started here, guys, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But like I said before, guys, we've got a lot to get through. So why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So first up here, we've got this pretty cashmere sweater. This is from Charter Club Cashmere. Now, Charter Club is not typically a brand I would pick up, but their cashmere does sell really well for me. I love the color, this pretty like bright fuchsia. It's an interesting shape. It's a little bit of a boxier fit with a rounded hem. Their cashmere, I think, is really nice. And it does still retail probably $200 to $250. Like it's not cheap, but I'll see probably somewhere between 30 and 40 for this. You know, again, I will pick up cashmere all year long. I sell cashmere all year long, just like I pick up linen all year long. Quality pieces like this just kind of always have a market for them. So don't disregard a cashmere sweater from Charter Club just because it's Charter Club. Like, I know that that's not a brand a lot of people pick up, but if you're getting it at the right price, you're still gonna get a great profit on it. And it's still a really nice sweater that you're getting out of the waste stream and back into use. I just have one enormous bag today. Next up, this is one of my little bread and butter pieces. I feel like I find one of these at every thrift trip. This is a Travis Mathew golf polo. These things retail like $89. They're super expensive. Travis Mathew is by no means like the most in-demand golf brand. You have, you know, Grayson and Roback and Peter Millar, but Travis Mathew, I will get somewhere between $15 and $25 on this, and probably get it pretty quickly. And the funny thing is, I almost always, like when I find these in the bins, they're almost always a size small. I'm assuming that the mediums and larges usually get picked up at the thrift store, but this is a store pull and it wasn't sold, and it is a size medium. It's a really like classic gray. This will be in and out of my hands so quick, especially with golf season upon us. Like, it is early spring. This is the time that that kind of stuff starts to really move. Next up, now this is a label I haven't seen in a while, and I always get excited when I see it. This isn't like a really widely appealing brand, but the people who are into it are really into it, and that is Desigual. Desigual is like unto itself a lifestyle. It's not like Lagenlook, which is like a lifestyle that has many brands. Like, for a lot of people who like Desigual is their style. They always use a lot of really beautiful prints. A lot of times their pieces are like kind of patched together with different like vibrant colors. There's always little details. Like, look at this buttoning on the placket. Like, there's always really whimsical, colorful patterns. Now, Desigual, pretty expensive. This probably retailed about $200. I'll probably see, this is one of like the less significant pieces I've ever seen from them, but it is Desigual, and I will still probably see somewhere between 30 and 40 on this. And their labels are all different. This is one of their more like basic labels, so just keep your eyes out for it. Next up, now this I felt, and it felt really nice. So it's a dress. It's a little bit Christmassy, which I didn't really realize until I got it home, but it's 100% cotton. It's really lightweight. It's got pockets. It's got like a fully smocked bodice. And the brand on this is Ivy City, which I immediately recognized. And I'm kind of interested to know if anybody else out there recognizes them. I recognize them because they're based in Utah, and specifically this is a modest dress company. They kind of specialize in these kind of dresses with modest lengths, modest sleeves, modest necklines. And there is a decent demand for stuff like this, and not a ton of companies that make stuff specifically for modest dressing. Like, the neckline in particular is a little bit tricky. You might have something that like covers the shoulders and is long enough, but like the neckline will be a little bit too low. So let me know if you're familiar with Ivy City. Let me know if you've ever seen it out in the thrift or in the bins. I'm sure those of you in Utah might have seen this a few times or will be familiar with it, but you know, they're made really well, and you know, the colors are beautiful. This is like a really pretty, again, kind of Christmassy dress. I don't know if you can tell, that's like holly That's like a holly print. Sold comps on IVCD dresses are generally between like $50 and $100. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. I'm interested to see how fast it does sell. Obviously this is a Christmas dress, so like I'm not necessarily anticipating that selling before winter. But if this was a more summer dress, especially if this was a more summer dress, because those kind of like modest pieces get a little bit harder to find once you're in the summer months when, you know, people are bearing more skin, I would imagine it would sell pretty quick. But if you've had experience with it, let me know how fast it moved for you. I've never found a piece while sourcing, so I'm interested to see how it does. Next up, you will never see me leaving behind something like this. This is a vintage faux fur little stole. I think this is technically a stole. It's one of those things that kind of goes around your shoulders, but with like a high collar and a crossover. So something you could wear like over a formal dress. It's from Sears and it's in like flawless vintage condition. So something like this, I've sold something like this that was fur and it sold for about $100. So I'm not quite sure what a faux fur will go for. I know that there's demand for this. Like I see this a lot at like winter weddings, and I know that there's like, it looks like mink, first of all. I didn't even realize that until I saw it in the camera. You can kind of see the little lines here. Like I'm sure that there's a demand for stuff like this, as people don't necessarily want to wear fur, but they maybe want that look. Obviously we're coming into summer, so I'll try to get this listed ASAP for those like kind of spring weddings that might be chilly. Maybe 30 or 40 bucks on this. Again, flawless condition. Like it doesn't look like it's been really worn. Like there's no wear to this lining whatsoever. So cool find, and I will never leave something like this behind. Next up, following right along with a completely inappropriate time to pick this up kind of find, this is a sweater from For Sienna. I really like this color. It's this beautiful like rust orange, and I mean like it feels so soft. I don't even know, like I'm sure that this is some kind of like tencel acrylic blend, but I love the silhouette. So it's kind of cropped, it's oversized, it's got these kind of baggy sleeves. And this is the brand. So they were sold, I know, on Anthropologie at some point. Looks like they have their own website. It just felt really nicely made. Like I picked this up more as a style pickup than a brand pickup. The color's right, the cut is right. I like really everything about it. It looks like sold comps. This exact sweater has a few sold comps in like the $30 range. So again, something I will try to get listed pretty quickly to kind of capitalize on that like transitional weather that we're in right now. It is just as soft on the inside as it is on the outside. I really like that sweater. Next up, now this is something I probably wouldn't have picked up if it wasn't for the brand. So this is a pair of faux leather leggings. And when I say faux leather, this isn't like the Spanx like spandex that's coated to kind of look like leather. This is like actual faux leather. You know, it's made to look like a, you know, kind of stretched leather. And this is from Skims. That is the label if you've never found a piece from Skims. I don't know if you can kind of see, it's like debossed right here. So they are size extra small, no big deal. There are sold comps on these leggings in this size at about $80. And sold comps on all sizes are between like $50 and $80 on this. So it's, you know, it definitely something that I'm happy I picked up. And listen, like I've talked about this before, credit where credit is due. The Spanx stuff is incredible. Like as a reseller, I love it. It sells so quickly. It's one of my fastest selling brands. I'm thinking about doing a video on like my fastest selling brands. I have to figure out the kind of criteria, but let me know if that's something that sounds interesting to you. Like, so as a reseller, they sell really well. They fetch a great price and they sell generally very fast. But you know, personally, like their stuff is excellent. Like their textiles are really innovative. I don't know how they're developing them or whatever the case may be, but everything I've ever gotten from them I really like. So credit where credit is due. If you were looking for like great basic t-shirts or whatever, it's one of those brands that like dupes don't cut it. You know, like there are a lot of brands out there where a dupe does just the same thing, but I've never found a Skims dupe that even comes close. So they're great. Next up, oh, I thought these were so pretty. So this is a pair of very flowy pants, and the way that they connect is so interesting. So they have like a little hook and bar really, and they basically create the pocket. These are from L'Agence. And L'Agence is a really high-end, kind of contemporary brand. They're sold at Nordstrom. You'll see them, I think, at Saks. And these are just like ultra wide leg. I cannot find, there is no fabric tag on these, but I think that they're silk. Like looking at the underside, feeling the underside feels like silk. It looks like a really lightweight silk satin. And Legence, you know, a lot of their garments are silk. So I'm trying to find the exact model of these. And again, there's like no size tag and there's no contents tag. So I'm gonna have to do like measurements and make my best guess per their size chart. But I just think these are so pretty and easy breezy for summer. Like look at the way that they've done this kind of palazzo. I'm trying to figure out how to show this. Do you see like when you're wearing them, they look like a pleated front skirt, but that's where like the extra fabric comes. It's just really, it's really beautifully cut. So something like this, I'm not quite sure. There are sold comps for pants similar to this, anywhere between like $50 and going up to like $200. These were probably, if they are silk, these were probably $300-400, maybe a little bit more. Legence is very, very expensive. So somewhere in that range, I just thought that they were so, so pretty, and I'm not leaving behind a pair of Legence pants. Legence was definitely like a bolo like a year or two ago, and anything from them would have like flown out of your closet. This will probably take a little bit longer to sell just because it is a higher dollar thing, and Legence isn't quite as much of a bolo as it was, you know, a year or two ago, but it's still a great brand, high quality, and this is definitely like a gorgeous, like interesting basic. I wish you could feel those, like they feel so dreamy. Next up, oh, this was a really cool find. So this is, I believe, 80s vintage Escada. I felt this fabric and it's like a lightweight wool, like houndstooth. And then I saw the label, Escada, extremely expensive designer brand. I love, like, take a look at the way that these tiers are cut. Like this will look better once there's a body in it. It's also, I think, about a size 12, which is nice to see. So you see that top layer is kind of curved up to the hem. The second layer is curved down. This is really gorgeous. Now, I don't know necessarily what I'm gonna get for this, but it probably retailed like $800 or $900. I'll probably see with some clever keywording, you know, of course I'll use professional and business professional and all those words, but I'll also use like 80s vintage and big business and working girl and all those kind of like 80s keywords to get the right eyeballs on this. You know, I'll probably see somewhere between like 30 and 80. I think the size, the colors, and the interesting cut here is super fabulous, and I think that that gives these a leg up. I am always excited to see that label, especially in the bins. Next up, I got this gorgeous linen Breton stripe top from Vince. Show me a linen t-shirt and I'm in. This is just a classic little t-shirt. It's got like a little bit of a cropped length here. It's kind of a boxy fit, long sleeve, something like this. Vince, of course, an incredibly expensive brand. This probably retailed $200, $250. I'll probably see something like $30 for this on the resale market. Vince's prices have come down, but if you're sourcing them at a good price and you're finding like the good quality fabrics, you know, they're still gonna sell for a decent profit. And they are made really, really well. And, you know, maybe not something I would have paid like $15 for if my store jacked up the prices on Vince pieces, but at $1, $2, $3 from the bins, like all day I'll pick them up. Apologies guys, I have hiccups right now, so if my editing feels a little bit choppy, it's because I'm cutting out my hiccups. I will get hiccups like 4 times in a day, and then I won't have them for like 8 months, and then I'll have another day while I have them like 8 times. Is anybody a nurse out there? Can anybody tell me like why that happens? Also let me know if the same thing happens to you. Next up, I found this adorable hand knit little crop top. I mean, talk about the things you can't leave behind. So this is a nice baby blue or an ice blue per the pastel trends of this year. It's got a nice square neckline. This is probably about a size like medium or large. It's got a lace up back here. It's super cute. And this feels to be like 100% cotton. This doesn't feel like acrylic knit. Obviously boho, festival, this will kind of fall into all of those categories, but you know, you just can't leave something like this behind. I'll probably see like $30 for this, and almost guaranteed this will go on Depop just because it's hand knit. But how cute is this? I like the way that the straps, first of all, the straps are really decorative. You can kind of see that. Probably, again, something that'll go on Depop. And I have no doubt that that'll sell pretty quickly, especially right now, given the season, given the color, given the fact that it's handmade. Next up, I got this super cute little white dress, and this is from Draper James. It's just like a little white cotton kind of puff sleeve baby doll mini dress. Again, perfect for like bachelorette party, bridal shower, you know, all those little white dresses. It's got pockets. This is the Draper James, like regular Draper James, not the Kohl's Draper James, which is RSVP by Draper James. Got a cute little smocked back. It's size small, flawless condition. Something like this, I don't think that this retailed for all too much. I want to say this probably retailed somewhere 70 or 80 bucks. I'll probably see somewhere between like 25 and 32 on this. And I have no doubt that this will go quick, just given the season, given what it is, and given the condition. Oh, yes. Okay, so story time here. So years and years ago, I'm going back probably like mid-20s, I had just taken a new position in marketing. And you know when you get like a new position and you're at your office and you get the mail from the person who had your job before? So I got a catalog from J. Peterman, and I had watched Seinfeld before, and I'm not like a huge Seinfeld person, and I never really have been. I know that there are people who love Seinfeld, like people love The Office, and like I love Gilmore Girls and the Golden Girls, but it's just never been a thing. But I think it was Elaine, she worked at the J. Peterman company writing the descriptions for the items, and I always thought it was like a make-believe company, you know, and lo and behold, I got a J. Peterman catalog addressed to the person who used to have my job. And I'm like reading through it, I'm like, oh, the descriptions are a real thing. They're ridiculous and this long and, you know, hilariously written. And I never like found a piece of J. Peterman, like all the stuff looks very like old school and like well made. I remember in the catalog they had like deer trapper hats, like being sold dead seriously as like a deer trapper hat. Anyway, so I'm digging through the bins and I feel this gorgeous flannel and pull it out, and lo and behold, it is from J. Peterman. Like, let me know if you also didn't know that it was a real catalog. Because I don't know, maybe we just never got it in our house. Maybe it was just common knowledge and I was just completely in the dark, but I remember losing my mind laughing so hard reading those things. So anyway, story time over. This is what they call one of their poet's blouses. It's a men's blouse. It's like made kind of like a tunic. It's got a band collar and, you know, puffy sleeves, not unlike Jerry's puffy sleeves. And they resell, I want to say that they retail probably about $100, and they resell somewhere between like 30 and like 45, depending on what they are. I think that this flannel is really, really nice and it feels super soft. We'll see, but I just got such a kick out of finally getting my hands on something from J. Peterman, because man, I really thought it was something that was like made up for the show. So blissfully unaware that that company actually existed, which reminds me I need to get myself on the mailing list for that catalog, because what reading that is. Next up, oh, look at this. So this is a vintage dress from a brand called Karen Lucas for Mickey. That is the label there. And this is so, I mean, this has to go on the mannequin. So it's puff sleeves. It's that kind of scalloped neckline. It's got all these little heart buttons down. It's a sheath style dress, all velvet. It's just so fast. This is 100% something I could see going to like a production, because it is so like almost over the top 80s style. It's in fantastic condition. It looks to be pretty well made. I don't see a size tag. It looks to be probably about a size 6, just kind of eyeballing it, and it desperately needs a steam, but again, it's in like perfect condition. And anything like this that is so like just of an era, like cannot deny that it is of an era, is worth picking up just for like, because there are a lot of people that look for stuff like this. Either they're looking for it for a movie they're making, a TV show that they're making. They could of course be looking for it to like wear, and they're just like into that era's clothes. But when you have something that is so just like distinctly of that era, you invite in like TV shows, movies, theater companies, commercials, etc. Like they're always looking for stuff like this, because the other option is to have it custom made and guaranteed getting something for $35 on Depop that is like authentically of the era is going to be a lot cheaper than having it custom made. So these kind of things do sell well for me, and I sell quite a few of them to like costume shops. So very, very cool. But like, do make sure when you find something like this that you put in like 80s costume and like authentic 80s, you know, stuff like that, that will catch the eyes of somebody who's looking for something like that. Next up, now I rarely pick up Billabong, but I picked this up just because I thought it was super, super cute. This is like a one shoulder dress. I love the colors, the pink and the green. It feels very like fresh. It feels very like of this time. And the main reason that I picked this up is that it's a collab with the Salty Blonde. And I kind of picked it up because I thought it was really interesting. It's got a little belt, sheath silhouette. I thought this was really interesting, and when I took it back, I always like run a comp on something like this. Sold comps on this dress in particular are like $40. So this collab must be something that's pretty in demand. Again, like I do pick up Billabong from time to time. Like their boho dresses do really well for me. I've sold a couple of them like really quick, but I probably leave behind about like 90% of the Billabong that I do see, if not closer to like 95%. But this felt like a no-brainer to me. Just the style was right, the time is right, and the collab was right. So, ooh, that belt almost took out my matcha. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Oh, next up, this was kind of cool. Okay, so when I picked this up, first of all, it felt incredibly well made. So well made. This fabric is like a heavy, I would not be surprised if this is silk. And there were no fabric tags, but it's like a little party skirt, right? You wear this with like a button-down shirt or whatever. The label was really familiar to me. Wasn't like sure what it was, but I grabbed it because it was so nice. And it's from Terry John. And Terry John, if you are unfamiliar, does a lot of, like when I looked it up, I remembered Terry John does a lot of like Mother of the Bride style dresses, like more mature evening wear, but like high end. The dresses are generally about like $800 or $900. They're sold at like Neiman Marcus. So that level, and I mean, obviously the quality is there. When I found it, you just know it was something nice. You know that this is not something that you got at Target, but I'm not quite sure. Like there's not a lot of like just skirts on the market. If you look for it on like Poshmark, it's a lot of, you know, again, Mother of the Bride dresses. And, you know, they go for a pretty penny. They're selling for like, you know, $200 or so. Again, $800 retail, so that's a great deal. This is a size 14, so it's a good size. I'll probably see, I'm just really guesstimating on this, I'll probably see somewhere between like 30 and 50 on this. It probably retailed like $300 or $400, and again, the quality is there. It is really, really nice. And it's black and white, right? It goes with everything. But this would definitely not be something that's worn as like a Mother of Bride. This is more of like a casual wear, brunch type of a thing, not necessarily like a formal wear, which I think is where their specialty is. But I figured I'd give it a try, you know? Here we go. Next up, now I haven't found one of these in a while. These are Lululemon Align leggings. They are printed in this kind of interesting like tonal black and gray pattern. They are a size 6. These are some of like the only Lululemon leggings I will still be picking up. Probably at this point even Aligns, unless you find like the Align flare, like I'm literally wearing Align flares right now. Unless you find like the Align flare pants, I probably wouldn't be paying up for any Lulu leggings. You know, maybe cap yourself $5, and that's really only for like inline, in demand, or Align leggings. So I'm sure a lot of you out there have a lot of Lululemon leggings. Like, are yours sitting as well? Let me know. Next up, oh my God. I kind of wish I found this last summer because this is so brat summer coated. I can't even handle it. First of all, this is vintage from the 90s or early 2000s. This is velvet. This is midi, like, I mean, velvet midi length tie-dye. This is from Express. Now, this is definitely 90s. Express Tricot, that's one of their more vintage labels. It's a size 9, 10, so it's a good size, adjustable straps. It's like flawless condition. I can't, this will still sell really quickly. This color is still, you know, pretty popular. And I mean, just everything about it, the length, the fact that it's tie-dye, the fact that it's the bright green, the fact that it's spaghetti strap, the fact that it looks so 90s. I'll probably get like $40, $45 on this, and I have no doubt that this will sell really quickly. It's wild how much, like, you guys are getting a lot of sheen on this because of the light, but it's not quite as light as it looks in the camera. It's a little bit darker, but it's freaking fabulous. You know I love my Vintage Express. Like, I love it. And it sells so well for me. Next up, this piece is from Athleta and it's size medium. It is basically like an after yoga wrap. It is an open front cardigan. It's pretty long. It's really nice. I have been really, really selective about what I'm picking up from Athleta these days, but this is the kind of thing that does sell very well for me. This is like something that you like get home and you like throw on over your like leggings and a t-shirt for a little extra warmth. It's kind of like almost robe-like, really soft. Something like this, I'm pretty sure that sold comps on this particular piece are between like $40 and $60. So this is definitely something to keep your eyes out for. It's so funny, like this tencel jersey is so heavy. Like I wish you could feel the heft of this. Again, I am very selective with what I pick up from Athleta these days. Something like this for sure still right now. Oh, next up, I got this for my brother. I think he'd look really good in this. This is just a little J. Crew, like a cream slub cotton hoodie. It's in fantastic condition, size large. Probably not something that I would have picked up otherwise. I just know he likes these kind of shirts. This is kind of like an elevated athletic wear, right? Like it's something that doesn't look like you're going to the gym. It looks like you pulled yourself together. It's good color, it's great fabric, and it's in perfect condition. So this is not for sale. This one is for my brother. Next up, okay, this is an interesting one, and I'm interested to hear how many other people have heard of this brand. Now the brand is gone, I know that for a fact, and that is Life After Denim. I have had a couple pieces absolutely fly out of my closet, and I've had one or two pieces that sat for a while, so I don't really have a consensus on it, but the fabric, like the quality of their pieces is so nice. So this is just a men's button-down shirt, size medium. And if you look close, it looks like there's a little bit of a print to it, right? But here's where it absolutely kind of blew me away. If you look on the inside, you can see how they made that print, right? So like this is all stitching. This is a completely stitched, and it is all over. I just thought that that was so cool. I've never seen anything like this, at least not in this application. Life After Denim, very, very expensive. Some of the pieces I've sold have gone between like $30 and $45. I would expect probably about the same for this. It's a decent size. It's definitely like a special textile. So I just thought this was so cool, and definitely the kind of thing that I just couldn't bear to let go into the waste stream. And it's in like perfect condition. So very excited, but let me know if you are familiar with Life After Denim, if you've ever sold it before, if it's something that you do well with. Super cool though, right? Next up, we are getting there, guys. Okay, so this I grabbed. We talked just a few weeks ago about how prep, like classic nautical prep, is back in, and in fact, I think I talked about this sweater in my trends video. And this is just from the Gap, and it is like a boxy, oversized, nautical striped, chunky turtleneck. This will fly out of my closet. This is the kind of thing that people bring to like the beach, you know, to throw on at night for a chilly night over a pair of shorts. It is black and cream striped, beautiful condition. Gap, by the way, guys, is having a big time resurgence. So be on the lookout for their classic high quality pieces like this, because people are loving them. They're loving this very like preppy, clean, traditional kind of feel. I wouldn't doubt that I'll probably get somewhere like $30 to $40 on this. And I also have no doubt that this will sell super quickly. What size is this? It's a size large, tall as well, which interesting, because it is still kind of cropped, but I guess that will cover somebody with a long torso. And I know, as somebody with a very short torso who has like the opposite problem, I know what a struggle it can be to deal with like unusual proportions. Whenever you have something that is like a tall length or a petite length, always make sure you're putting that length measurement in, just because it is so tricky and people want to make sure that things are gonna like, you know, cover their torso or, you know, not completely go halfway down their legs. Next up, oh, this is so pretty. So this is from Robert Rodriguez, who is a really high-end designer. And I've had a couple pieces from him that are kind of in this same vein. So definitely something that I have to put on the mannequin. It's this beautiful burgundy with this black beading design. It is a size 2, but again, this is just something that I cannot leave behind. It is a stretch silk, so it's got a little bit of stretch. It's got this kind of blouson top, but this will make a lot more sense once it has like a body under it, keeping it shaped. This probably was $800 or $900 retail. Robert Rodriguez is very, very high end. I'll probably see somewhere between $50 and $100 on this. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't sell until fall, just given the color. This feels very like witchy, but you never know. and it is in flawless condition. Oh my God, this beading is beautiful. Definitely something like moral imperative that I cannot let go into the waste stream. We are getting there, guys. Oh, this was really cool. So this is from Beams. They do, they're a Japanese-based company. They do a bunch of different lines. This is from Tendance Pare Beams. This is a beautiful cotton, pretty like sage green button down shirt. I love this neckline with the little tie detail. So it's the style in and of itself is very like kind of traditional, but that definitely adds a slice of sexiness to it. It's not a big brand here in the States, so I'm interested to see how this will sell. This might be something that goes overseas when it does sell. I'll make sure that I have that enabled on my listings where that is available. But this probably retailed about like $180 to $200. So I'll probably see around $30 for it. It does have enough about it. Look at this little like knit collar detail. So pretty. Something has a lot about it that I can keyword, but if it's going to be carried by the brand, chances are it'll be going overseas or to somebody in the States who's like really familiar with Beams. But their stuff is beautiful. And this is made so, so well. Next up, oh, this is from Sunday Best, which is an Aritzia brand. This just falls right into trend right now. This is a little like mini cocktail dress in this pretty like pistachio, sage green satin. It is so soft. It's a size 6 in excellent condition. This probably retailed like $150. I'll probably see $30 to $40 on this. That's about what I get for Sunday Best pieces. It's again, flawless condition, and right now, like it's got all of the things for trend right now. Like it's got a little bit of a Y2K aesthetic to it with the spaghetti straps and the kind of square neckline. It's got that like pastel colorway. It's satin, it's very soft. You know, and stuff like this you're gonna use like cocktail dress, party dress, like homecoming dress, formal dress, wedding guest dress. You know, make sure you're including all of those things. And again, was in the regular thrift store and did not get bought. Wild. Next up, these are from House of Harlow 1960, and I just thought these were so cute. These are like a sweater flare legging. So if you can kind of see, they're like a rib knit sweater. So they're a little bit heavier weight, they're high-waisted. I'm gonna guess that this was part of a 2-piece set. A lot of things like this from House of Harlow are like, you know, part of a set. She does a lot of knits like that, but these are size small and brand new condition. These feel like they've never been worn before. They're obviously wrinkled because they've been in a bag, but you know, flare leggings, kind of sweater leggings. I have no doubt that this will go pretty quickly, probably somewhere between like 25 and 35 on these. And I have no doubt that they'll go pretty quickly, just given their style. I love that like little stripe too. That gives a little bit of that like vintage, almost like auto racing feel to me, you know? Next up, I had 2 little bralettes from Intimately Free People. I know not everybody does these, but they do pretty well for me. And these are kind of interesting. These aren't their kind of typical ones that I see. This one is like a pretty like burnt orange with black lace trim in great condition. These both feel just about brand new. But yeah, super cute here. And then the other one I think is the Gudrun style. It looks very familiar, but it's got this really interesting pattern to it. So these kind of things I typically get between like 15 and 25 on, and they almost always sell really, really fast for me. They always kind of take me by surprise, but people do absolutely love them. So I will continue to grab them as long as I can get them at the right price. Definitely not something that you go and pay $5, $6, $7 for. This is like a bins or sale day exclusively pickup. So finally here, we're kind of at the end, and I found myself a nice little Lagenlook stash. So my little tip, if you've never found something like this in the bins. So the bins have 2 different kinds of donations. They have basically like store pulls. So these are things that were like in the store that didn't sell. So they get pulled from the store and they go into the bins. And then there are people that donate directly to the bins locations. And that is when you can find these little caches, right? Because they will probably just dump the bag straight into the bin. And I have found, you know, they're few and far between, but man, when you find them, it is exciting. And this one was a bunch of Lagenlook pieces. So the rule of thumb is like, if you find two very similar pieces, like same size, same aesthetic, you know, kind of something unusual like a Lagenlook thing, you are going to look through every single piece in that bin. There will be no skimming over that bin. You will dig through every piece of that bin and the bins kind of right adjacent to it to see if there's anything else that is either there or that has been like kind of tossed to the, you know, adjacent bins from people kind of digging through looking for something else. So I found 5 great pieces. So buckle up. This is like artsy Lagenlook dream. And we'll start with the least exciting. And these are a pair of Connie's Moonlight pants. They're 100% linen. And they've got this really interesting bottom with the stitch detail. Thing I love about these, let me see if I can show you this. So on the inside of the leg, it's really subtle, but there's a little bit of like gather right here. So it's going to give a little bit of like a balloon kind of effect. This is on the inside of the leg, not the outside of the leg, which I thought was really unusual. This isn't a brand that I'm super familiar with. I'd seen it once or twice. I don't think it's one of the bigger brands. I don't think it's one of the bigger like Bolo brands, but I just thought that these pants were so great and clearly came from the same wardrobe, also pockets. These I'll probably get about $30 for. And I have no doubt with them being linen and in like flawless condition, these feel unworn. There is just like a way that linen feels when it's brand new. And I don't know how to describe it, but these feel brand new. Like they feel factory pressed, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe that. But again, flawless condition. No doubt that these will go very quickly. We'll use all of my boho, Lagenlook, artsy, art teacher, art to wear kind of keywords for all of these things. Next up, this is a pair of pants from Bluefish. Love Bluefish. Definitely one of those Lagenlook kind of Bolo brands. And this has, I mean, like, these are drawstring waist. They've got the big logo on the back. They're hand painted, so they're very wide leg and they're crop length, right? And this is kind of one of their like signature pieces. I like that they tie on the side, not in the front. So despite being like very voluminous, they're still, you know, they fit in a more flattering way. These are all made in the US, and sad to say that Bluefish has shuttered their doors, which means that their pieces are like finite at this point. There will be no more being made. So demand for them is going to be going up. The pants I'll probably see somewhere between $40 and $50 on. Again, hand painted, made in the US, gorgeous quality jersey in fantastic condition. You know, it's sad to say that like when brands like this go away, you know, just demand for it goes up because people love it and you can't go out and buy it anymore. So that was an exciting find. Next up, another Bluefish piece. This is the piece I was more excited about because these go for incredible prices. Again, another Bluefish piece, a different kind of label to keep your eyes out for. Hand painted again. This is one of their like button down cardigans. Again, hand painted on the pockets there. Hand painted on the back. Hand painted little detail on the underside of the cardigan. Again, in that beautiful cotton jersey. These resell for about $100 to $150, depending on what they are. Such an exciting find here. So keep your eyes out for these. This is very Lagenlook, again, art to wear, hand painted. You can like feel, let me see if you can like hear this. You can hear the fact that it's like hand painted. And again, they're just in high demand and now limited in supply just on the planet. So if you see it, this is definitely a brand to pay up for comfortably. People absolutely love Bluefish. Next up, now this is a label that I just about lost my mind when I saw it. This is all in the same kind of pile, and this is Henrik Vibskoff. Now, this guy is a true artiste. He's a little bit more artwear than he is into Lagenlook, but obviously the appeal kind of spreads to both. This is a dress. It's a beautiful, like lightweight jersey in this mixed pattern. This probably retailed like about $500. I absolutely love his stuff. So this is like unusually colorful for him. He does a lot of like black kind of modern pieces with like interesting architectural details. Kind of in the same vein as like an Alembica, right? So it kind of has that same like just very like you see somebody wearing this and you're like, that is like simple and classic, but different and artistic, right? Like it's that kind of clothing. This is like a very bold print for him, but the last sold comp of this dress I think went for about $100. So I'm so excited. This is definitely one of my bucket list designers that I would find. And like, here's the thing. Here's the issue. My bucket list designers are very niche. So I never anticipate ever finding them. But when I finally do, it's always really, really exciting. Oh, that's the label in case I didn't show that enough. Keep your eyes out. If you see that, pick up, comfortably pay up. And if you are in the mood for some inspiration, go and check out his website because the man is an artist. And finally, I don't know if you guys are ready for this, but this was in the pile with all of these other pieces. And I mean, look at this coat. So this is like patchwork brocade. I'm sure these are like fabric scraps. They're all like beautifully made. Look at the stitching. They use like a rainbow thread. So all of the stitches are exposed and they have that kind of rainbow detail. I don't know if you can see the buttons here, but they're all like gemstones and multi-colors. Let me see if I can get a little light catching in there. The designer is Dye Designs, DY Design, which I couldn't find much on, but like, I mean, first of all, look at that back. This is unbelievable. I mean, this is definitely something that will sell just for the look of it, right? Like this is true like art to wear. I can see the coolest person I know wearing this with a dead straight face and getting a million compliments on it. It is unbelievable. It is a size medium. It's in fantastic condition. It's, you know, that kind of like car coat length. That stitching is everywhere. Like, let me get you up close to that. So it's all like individually patchwork together. I have no idea what I'm gonna get for this. Maybe somewhere between like $50 and $100. Like, it's just so unusual and just so different and beautiful that I have no doubt that it'll go for a decent price. Might sit for a minute. This is not everybody's cup of tea, that's for sure, but like, for me, it's this. It's the face on the back. I love it. Somebody in the Lagenlook world donated their wardrobe and I am very, very happy to be the person who picked it all up. But that is it, guys. That is the haul for today. Thank you so much for hanging with me while I go through these things. I always have so much fun sharing these with you. I definitely, like, as soon as I started picking up these pieces and I found kind of like one right after the other, I was like locked in and I'm like, I cannot wait to show everybody this. I was just talking about Bluefish a few videos ago. I love it when that happens, when I talk about something and then like, you know, a few weeks later I can be like, this is what I was talking about. But what a great day. It was a great day. The vibes were high there. It wasn't super crowded. The weather wasn't bad. So it was just like all in all, just one of those magic days at the bins. But guys, I always appreciate you taking a little bit of your precious time to hang with me. It is always so fun to have somebody to kind of nerd out about these things with. Like, who else is gonna be as excited as we are about finding a stash of Lagenlook stuff? You know? But guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you ever have any kind of content that you want to see me make, don't ever hesitate to drop that in the comments down below. I'm always keeping my eyes out for it. But guys, without further ado, I hope you have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting. I hope you also find a stash on your next sourcing trip. And I will see you all in the next one.